Hello, I'm Jonathan Scott, and welcome to On Air Education, a television series dedicated to helping our teachers, parents, and students with both distance and blended learning. One of the things that we've learned is that teaching math is different than teaching science, just as teaching history is different than teaching music or art. Each discipline needs its own approach to engaging our students. The Las Vegas Review-Journal recently wrote that 50% of our minority students received D's and F's for last year. That's unacceptable. Our schools have reopened, and we've invited our guests to talk about the state of our schools. The problems are many, including buses and transportation of our students, and the heated debates about both teachers and students being vaccinated and wearing masks. We hope to learn about proposed solutions and the current state of affairs of our schools. Our guests include the president of the Clark County Education Association, Marie Neisess, kindergarten teacher Kristan Nigro from the Steve Shore Elementary School, and here to mystify us and lend her engagement skills is Westgate Resorts headliner, magician Jen Kramer. We start off with Madam President Marie Neisess. Marie, how difficult was it getting the schools open, and what's the current state of affairs?
Well, I think we were more optimistic that the reopening of in-person instruction would be a lot more smoothly handled from the Clark County School District. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with the pandemic, as well as the many issues that occurred around mandates that were put in place by the Clark County School District. One of the mandates being that every educator who is not vaccinated and staff member has to be tested weekly. Well, the first rollout of testing was very problematic. Educators as well as staff are waiting in lines for two to 3 hours in the heat. And then sometimes they would get up there to get their test done, and they had run out of COVID testing. So there have been some hiccups. Our educators are, have stepped up as usual and have been working really hard, but they're dealing with, a pandemic and trying to keep their students as safe as possible.
Now, from the educator's standpoint, Kristan, where are you at with your kindergartners? Are you at 50% of them coming back into school?
Surprisingly, we have an unbelievable amount of students enrolled. This is one of the biggest classes that I've had in my 9 years of teaching. I'm up to 26 students at this time, which 26 5-year-olds is pretty intense. So I don't think there's necessarily a problem at our site per se about how people are, coming to school, but I do know that other schools are experiencing that.
And I do have to call out that you're at the Steve Shore Elementary School, and Steve was a dear friend and a terrible loss to our community because he was such a great guy, and he was so proud of your school, and I just have to mention that because he was a dear friend. Marie, getting back to the transportation issue and the buses, from what I've read and what I've heard, the buses have to be staggered, and that's created a whole another nightmare. They pick up some kids at 8 in the morning and some at 9 and some at... How's that being handled?
Well, at the core of this is ensuring that all students are as safe as possible. So we're talking about social distancing, but really the bigger issue is that there's just not enough employees. That we've always had a shortage of employees, and the pandemic has just exacerbated that issue.
One of the questions that our associate producer Carol came up with is what are you doing and how are you providing substitute teachers? Is that problematic?
It's extremely problematic because, again, we are trying to keep everyone as safe as possible, our students as well as our educators, and we do not have the amount of substitutes that we currently need. And so past practice has been that if in my classroom I didn't have a sub, my students would be broken up with the other educators in my grade level. But that creates a problem because our class sizes are so large. How do we maintain social distancing and contact tracing? So we're living in a very challenging world right now, and our educators are at the forefront trying to figure it out and trying to make sure that every student is as safe as possible.
So it's gotten into a really crazy, heated debate from what we've seen on the news and we've read in the newspaper. How's this gonna wash out? Is there a solution in sight? I mean, some people are pro-vaccination, some are against vaccination. I mean, where do you draw the line, and how do you what's the best way to protect the students?
Well, we understand that, at CCEA is the largest educator union. We are the official bargaining unit that represents all educators in the Clark County School District. And in our ranks, we have opposing views. We have educators who are pro-vaccine and some that are not, whether it's a medical issue or a personal issue that they don't want to take the vaccine, or a religious reason that they don't want to. But at the core of where we are all together is making sure that students are as safe as possible in our classrooms. So just last night, the CCSD Board of Trustees voted to have Dr. Jara's vaccination mandates go through. So, immediately today, the reaction is, well, how soon is that? Because there are some educators and staff who have drawn a line in the sand, who've said they will quit their position. And CCA's position is, hang on, we're going to go to the table, we're going to meet with the district and try to work through some solutions that, hopefully will keep everyone in their position. CCSD cannot afford to lose one educator, one staff member. It takes all of us. It takes a village to be there for our students, and we're currently in crisis. There's not enough educators. There's not enough substitutes.
Kristan, I have to ask you, you're dealing with 5-year-olds, and I guess you've got to be 12 to get vaccination?
Yes, that is correct.
So, when I think of 5-year-olds, I think of their noses running and coughing and just like germs running rampant.
Boy, that is, you just hit right on the head with, it's amazing, though, because as we speak right now, there is a summer cold that is ripping through our school, and, trying to, understand of how, well, is this COVID? Is this going to be something more serious? And it's interesting to see that. And on top of that, trying to watch these kids wear a mask, it's difficult. It's difficult. They're 5 years old, and a lot of them want to take them off. So when they're sneezing and coughing, but you're right, they do. Lots of germs flying around room 3 right now.
And what's the status with the masks? That's another heated topic, isn't it? Mask or no mask?
That's one of the mandates that the district put in place, following the governor's directive. So staff and students are expected to wear masks.
All right. Well, it's not going to calm down soon, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think people have their own personal views on, how we should handle this. And I think at the core of it is everyone is concerned about our students' well-being. Educators' top priority is making sure that they get a quality education, but also ensuring that they're as safe as possible when they're in those buildings.
What percentage, and you might not know, are back in the classroom here in Clark County?
It's funny, Kristan mentioned earlier how high her class numbers are, but there are some schools where there's very few students in the building because they are concerned. The parents have opted to either homeschool them or enroll them in the Nevada Learning Academy.
Well, one of the things that we heard, and that was last season, was that some of the kids, especially in the minority families in the high school level, the kids went out during COVID and they got jobs. And they're helping support their family because perhaps their parents had lost their jobs. So they're not eager to go back to school because they're helping keep their family alive. Is that something that you're finding?
Well, I think we need to look at things differently. One size does not fit all. Some students thrive with virtual instruction and some didn't. And so Nevada Learning Academy provides that opportunity. So maybe if a student it has flexibility with their day, perhaps they'll be more successful in school. But the issue is that Nevada Learning Academy did not have enough educators. I don't think the district realized how many families were going to opt for virtual instruction to continue that. And so we need to look at all of those things. How can we address maybe an educator who has health issues that cannot take that vaccine? Is it something that educator can now do virtually? Can they help support our students whose families don't want to have their kids in the building or perhaps need a more flexible schedule for their child?
When we started this show over a year ago now, it was 30% of the families didn't have Wi-Fi. Now the last number I heard was 10%. Is it about that still?
Well, the community, there was there was outrage that we're flipping basically the switch from how we teach in person overnight to, okay, let's do this virtually. And then, like you said, that was the biggest issue. So we were lucky enough that the district was able to provide our students with Chromebooks. And then, of course, the next issue was, okay, what about the Wi-Fi? But I'm sure Kristan could definitely weigh in on that because she sees it more regularly than I would.
Definitely. I think we've done a better job with getting connection. Connectivity was a big problem, but I don't see that as being a big problem now, especially at my site. I can't speak for the other, zip codes, unfortunately.
Right. Well, we're going to get to that, but I want to give you the floor and have you address the parents and students and teachers that are watching right now.
So we understand that there's angst out there and there are concerns, all around whether you're pro-vaccine or not, whether you're pro-mask and you're not. But we want you to be, we want everyone to understand that we definitely have the best interest of our students in mind. They are the core of what we do, and we are trying to work around everything we can to find solutions to meet the needs of our students and their families because of what they're dealing with. We understand that families are out there having to work, trying to make ends meet. And so how does an educator make sure that they reach their students? They're doing the best that they can. And unfortunately, our class sizes are problematic. The lack of substitutes, the concerns every day of cleaning and making sure that everything is safe for our students is what's on the forefront of our educators' mind. But, we went into this because we love teaching. It's unfortunately the situation that we're currently in is very challenging for everyone, not just our educators, but as well our students' families are challenged by current situations.
And we love you. We love our teachers. And you're watching On Air Education. President of the Clark County Education Association, Marie Neisess, teacher, kindergarten teacher, Kristan Nigro. And I'm Jonathan Scott. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Whoever you are, you're one of us. Whatever you want, we'll get you there. If you're not like anyone else, you're just what we're looking for. It's time to enroll in your future. Nevada State College.
Welcome to the Great American Pub, a great place to hang out with your friends, watch a game, and enjoy some great pub food. Our kitchen is open 24/7 with our full menu. Try some of our signature dishes like lobster mac and cheese or clam chowder. Join us at the Great American Pub and enjoy happy hour specials. Grab a drink and enjoy great pub food from all over the country right here in Las Vegas. The Great American Pub with 2 great locations, 215 in Eastern and Flamingo in 215.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Scott, the producer of On Air Education, inviting you to enroll in our 5-day on-air beginning broadcasting workshop, teaching you the ins and outs of what it takes to be on television, radio, and podcasts with real on-the-air training and professional guest speakers from the broadcast industry. Introduce yourself with a brief 60-second video using your phone camera. Beginning broadcasting workshop is limited to only 12 students. Tuition is $995 and all major credit cards are accepted. Email us at news1lasvegas@gmail.com. Wow, that was amazing. That was our next guest, magician Jen Kramer, headliner at the Westgate Resorts, my home casino property. I love that property.
It is a special place, Westgate.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
and
you for
also
having
this
me.
segment, returning to segment number 2, Kristan Nigro, kindergarten teacher from the Steve Shore Elementary School, to talk about engaging your kindergartners and how maybe magic can help. But first off, Jen's going to try and mystify us here
Right.
on set. What do you have for us, Jen?
Oh, it is so great to be here with you both. And for this, I brought some blank cards. That's right. This is what playing cards look like before they become playing cards. Before they're printed at the factory, it's just plain card stock. And I thought that rather than printing these cards with a traditional printer, we could use some magic to print the playing cards. And what's your favorite magic word?
Oh, I'd have to say Shazam.
Shazam, it's a classic. I love it. See, all we have to do is just say Shazam, and we can magically print one playing card. We're starting small, just a single card, the Ace of Spades.
How'd you know I was thinking of that card?
It's magic. What can I say? It's magic. But I thought, let's do one better. Rather than printing just a single card, let's print Shazam, the backs of each and every one of the cards, completely red, but of course this is Las Vegas, and if you're playing a game of cards, what's the hand that you really want to get the most?
Royal flush.
Yes.
Absolutely, you know it. A royal
We caught a
flush.
royal.
Wow.
How happy would Melissa be with that? He lives to catch the royal flush. Jen Kramer. So let's talk about a little bit how you got started in magic to begin with. How old were you when you started fooling around with cards and rabbits and whatever else.
I was 10 years old at the time. In fact, it was on my 10th birthday when my Uncle Steve gave me a book called The Royal Road to Card Magic. And it's amazing how these small moments in life can really absolutely change the way the rest of your life goes. And in that case, I really did end up changing the course of my life in such a positive way. I fell in love with magic. I started performing absolutely everywhere I could. And I'm just super grateful now to have the opportunity to do my show here at Westgate.
I have to share a funny story, and I may have told you when we met at a great show called the Composer's Showcase, which is my favorite show every month that Keith Thompson produces with all original music. But when I was 5 years old, my grandparents had a poodle, a French poodle named Pierre, that would bounce a balloon on its nose. And I grew up in Chicago, and there was a magic store at Marshall Fields, and every year I'd go and get another trick. So I was charging kids 5 cents when I was 5 years old to watch the poodle bounce the balloon and do little cups and vase and, the little baby the wands that would, the beginning kind of magic tricks.
Right.
And so I was the great Houdini when I was 5.
Wow, the great Houdini.
The great Houdini.
Wow.
So, Kristan, do you do any magic for your kindergartners?
Ooh, no, unfortunately, I'm not as talented as the wonderful Jen over here. I wish I was. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I just about fell out of my seat when you did that. And I'm sitting right here, and I still don't know how you did that.
I think you'd be a fantastic magician. You have a wonderful personality.
Well, thank you.
And connecting with people ultimately is what it's all about.
I think that's my Western New York roots. But realistically, yeah, I wish I was doing magic, because actually I could probably get a lot more engagement that way.
Well, let's talk about how you are engaging your kindergartners now, especially with distance learning. How do you do that?
Ooh, one of the things is when we were going through distance learning, when it was full-time distance learning, the biggest thing is, especially for kindergarten, is you have to get them up and moving, and you have to find stuff that is meaningful to them. Whether that be we're using flashcards going through that has Paw Patrol or, the ever-famous Among Us. But other than that, you really have to find those things that are going to be that are going to be magical to them, The other thing is we did a lot of YouTube videos that involved us moving, whether it be counting to 100, and we're doing exercises. So again, it's just trying to meet those different modalities of learning that these kids thrive on.
Well, what problems are you having with the current state of affairs now? We talked earlier on how do you keep the kids safe, and you talked about summer colds going through. How do you stay healthy?
Ooh, you know what? I have a really great immune system. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm just blessed. But I am very, very thorough on my cleaning. Yes, we have custodians. Yes, we are short staffed. So I don't just leave it to them to just do the thorough cleaning. When I'm done and my last kid is left for the day, I am literally scrubbing with Lysol, spraying Lysol. We also have learning tubs that they use, and I am individually cleaning those. And so it takes a lot of time out of my day, but also it's going to keep them safe, and they're going to be able to come back for learning. So that's important to me. So
as I'm getting older, I think I'm starting to revert back in, because now I want to take a nap every day at 4 o'clock. When is it nap time? I almost was going to bring my blankie to talk. Do you do nap time?
I wish we did, because sometimes these little ones, they need it. But unfortunately, the curriculum is so rigorous these days, there's no time for naps.
Is it? I mean, what's your curriculum like?
Ooh, well, just to kind of give you a little bit of understanding of like the end of the year, I want to just kind of share that what they're expected to do when they go into first grade. Normally they would like them to be reading 100+ sight words, which is a pretty big deal for a 5-year-old.
Side words?
Sight words.
Oh, sight words.
Yeah, so sight words are those magical words that actually that teach you how to read and write.
Like, give me an example.
So a, the, like, I, can. So those things. And so also they want these kids to be able to write a paragraph when they're leaving with proper conventions. Maybe not like a full 5-sentence paragraph, but we're talking of like good 2 or 3 sentences.
At kindergarten level?
At kindergarten level, yes.
Really?
So it's very different from when I was in kindergarten in 1990, now I've just told you my age, but that's okay. But compared to what it is like now. And now I mentioned the fact, like different things in math where you're having to decompose numbers, like knowing that, okay, if I have the number 18, that's 1 group of 10 and 8 ones. So it's really pushing these kids, and I understand why, but also we have to stop.
Pushing the kids, I had to think about that.
Right, exactly, right.
1 group of 10.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, think about that, right? Very different. So Ah,
At kindergarten, that's amazing to me.
yeah, but you know what's even more amazing is when these kids come in and they don't even know how to write their name, but they are leaving actually writing the paragraphs, actually decomposing the numbers. And so that is why I teach kindergarten.
That's the payoff for you.
It
right?
really is. It really is. And it's an amazing thing to witness, and boy, does it give you the feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent most of my career on radio and using comedy as the engagement hook that is in my space. And the payoff for me was that one time I was walking through a casino and an older woman stopped me and said, I listen to your show and you make me laugh. And that's the payoff.
So rewarding.
So what can you show us? I know you've got more bags of
rewarding.
tricks here, Jen Kramer.
Absolutely. So I think
Is there anything that you could teach Kristan to amaze the kids?
I would love it.
Well, we were actually just talking before the segment about there is a magic trick with peanut butter, jelly, and pickles that I taught on Penn & Teller's Try This at Home.
I hear
which
they're
was
very
a special. Oh, they're amazing. Love Penn & Teller. Absolutely love them. And the concept for the show is what's magic with everyday objects that viewers could do at home during the pandemic when, people are kind of cooped up and wanting a chance to interact with their families and show them something special. So this was a magic trick where no matter what the person was thinking of, you could magically predict it. So you can find that on YouTube. The
And this is the peanut butter and jelly and
That's right,
pickles?
and pickle trick.
Okay,
So,
peanut butter,
yeah.
jelly, and pickles.
Yes, you can look that up. Penn & Teller, Try This at Home. It's up on YouTube. But in the meantime, I thought I would show you a little something. You had asked about how I got started, and the truth is
Yes.
it is card magic that first piqued my interest in magic. And as a magician, as I began to learn more, I had so much fun learning all these fun card magic moves where the cards could do all these fancy shuffles.
Look at that.
This one has a special name, by the way. Do you know what they call this one?
No.
Showing off.
It's called
Good one.
showing off. Yeah.
But my favorite part, though, is I know your favorite magic word is Shazam. And how about the great Houdini? What is yours?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Try
I
and
love
spell
it.
that one.
Yes.
Can't do it.
I like abracadabra as well.
Abracadabra is another classic.
fan
You
of
can't go
abracadabra.
wrong. Watch my favorite part. 3, 2, 1. Check it out. Somewhere from the middle of the deck, one card flies up into the air, into my hand, and it
On-air
says,
education.
On-air education.
And you're watching On Air Education with magician Jen Kramer, elementary school kindergarten teacher Kristan Nigro. I'm Jonathan Scott. We're going to take one more quick commercial break. Stay right where you is.
In a changing world, it's time to change how we look at college. That's why Nevada State College provides excellence with affordability, a campus with diversity, and programs that offer opportunity. Nevada State College. Be bold, be great, be state.
Welcome to the Great American Pub, a great place to hang out with your friends, watch a game, and enjoy some great pub food. Our kitchen is open 24/7 with our full menu. Try some of our signature dishes like lobster mac and cheese or clam chowder. Join us at the Great American Pub and enjoy happy hour specials. Grab a drink and enjoy great pub food from all over the country right here in Las Vegas. The Great American Pub with 2 great locations, 215 in Eastern and Flamingo in 215.
Weenie's Charbroiled Hot Dogs is the only charbroiled restaurant in Las Vegas. Weenie's Charbroiled has a full menu of hot dogs, footlong cheese chili dogs, pizza logs, Senoran Mexican hot dogs on bolillo buns, and Chicago-style Italian beefs served wet with jardinera. Mention this ad for a complimentary Loganberry drink with your order. Family friendly with dine-in and carry-out service. Weenie's Charbroiled Hot Dogs.
If you don't come to Weenie's, Jonathan Scott back with you on Air Education with our guest is magician Jen Kramer and kindergarten teacher Kristan Nigro, a.k.a. Pickles.
Oh, secret's out. Secret's out.
It's amazing what we find out in commercial break. So Jen is going to mystify us yet with another card trick.
Absolutely. I was thinking about how a commonality between what we all do is that it's all about connecting with people. It's about that engagement, whether you're an educator, whether you're presenting on television or radio, or whether you're a magician. So I would love to do some magic here that involves that audience participation, that engagement element. And for this, out of our deck of cards here, out of all the different playing card options, Jonathan, is there one that you like? It's okay if I see it. I've seen the trick before.
Yeah. That one.
That one, the Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades it is.
Aces,
All right.
baby. Aces.
Aces. Now, I want to make sure that this Ace of Spades is completely unique, that it is unlike any other card in the world. So
Okay.
I noticed you have a marker there.
I do.
Would you like to go ahead and sign that Ace of Spades?
Sure.
You can draw a picture, you can sign your name, anything you'd like. Wonderful. Oh, nice autograph there. Oh, wow, we got a picture too. Oh, is that a self-portrait?
Yeah, it's a quick one.
Wow,
Okay,
lovely.
there you go.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Well, we've got to show the viewers at home that beautiful self-portrait there, yes. And Pickles, would you like to add anything?
Oh, it's just beautiful. It looks like you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Here it is. Now, this entire magic trick is going to be done with just a single playing card.
Okay.
And the viewers at home, you can watch closely here. I'm going to do something kind of strange, kind of unusual. I'm going to bend a corner of this piece of paper here, of this card. I wanted to make sure not to, by the way, disrupt that gorgeous drawing. So I made sure to bend a different corner so we don't get in the way of that beautiful self-portrait.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get a really good crease in there. Now, the reason for this is so that we can very cleanly tear off a corner. Now, everybody, you can listen, you can hear it tear, you can watch as it's being torn.
I hear it.
That really is a legitimate tear. We've
It's a
torn
legitimate
off
tear.
that corner. Now, I'm going to take the corner. I'll place it right inside my magical purse of mystery over here.
Called a handbag.
That's right.
I've heard.
That will take it invisibly from the handbag of mystery. Watch. 3, 2, 1. And both of you say go.
Go.
Watch this. Just like that, fused right back onto one card with your signature.
Wow.
No glue, no tape, and that is for you to keep
Jen
as a
Kramer.
souvenir.
Magician Jen Kramer. I'm going to let you say what days and hours because you just changed your hours at the Westgate.
Yes, so you can come catch the show every Friday through Sunday at 3 o'clock. It's a family-friendly show, great for all ages, and I'd love to have you there.
And Kristan, any final things you want to talk about, engaging or anything at all? What do you want to talk about?
No, I'm just really grateful that you had me. I appreciate it. I'm just really happy to be back to school, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this year plays out.
Well, we thank you. We want to thank Marie Neisess, the president of Clark County Education Association, for joining us. And Jen, I'm amazed. I don't know how you did it. I'd have to get a book and call Matt King or do something. And thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for
It's
having
all
me.
about engagement. And Kristan, thank you. And thank you, the viewer. If you want to get a hold of us, you can certainly send us an email at news1lasvegas@gmail.com. That's news number 1, not spelled out, lasvegas@gmail.com. My name is Jonathan Scott. I want to thank everybody here at Show Creators for helping us out, our associate producer, Carol Adams-Hattar, and thank you, the viewer, for hanging in there with us. So, as always, Jonathan Scott reminding you to eat well, party hard, my friends, and be nice to each other. Thanks for watching.